My Sweet Audrina, Part 2, Almost a Normal Life. Slowly my eyes lifted to meet his. He lightly touched my hair, then my cheek with a tear that slid. "Are you crying for me or for yourself?" he asked softly. "Who will teach you the piano when I'm gone? What will you do with your talent then? Bury it under the dishes you wash and the babies you bear like your mother did?" "I'll come back," I whispered. "I'll risk Vera's telling Papa, but must be careful of her too." His smile came then, and crooked as he wiped away my tears. It was a smile very much like Vera's. Each day I played better and better, and at her piano I felt like Mama, enthralled by the music I created, and somehow disappointed in the life I led. Something was missing, and I didn't know what it was. I stood that winter staring out at the softly falling snow, wistful and needing, and allowed myself to believe it was Sylvia I needed for fulfillment. Once I had Sylvia home with me, where I could give her all the love and mothering she must desperately need, I'd feel happy. I wondered, as I wondered 1,000 times, just what was wrong with Sylvia. Was it so awful Papa was sure the truth would deliver such a blow to my sensitivities that I might not recover? Was I really that sensitive? My Aunt ridiculed the notion so often that I felt both she and Papa shared the proof of my hidden weaknesses. The snow danced in the wind, whirling around like tiny ballerinas, bouncing up and drifting down, floating sideways, making pictures, always telling me, that I was never, never going to be free, any more than Mama had been free. Vera came bounding through my bedroom door, the cold air clinging to her heavy coat. "Guess what I've been doing?" She exploded, hardly able to contain herself. Her eyes were lit up at black coils. The cold had made her cheeks red as apples. There were red marks on her neck, marks she pointed out to me. "Kisses made those," she said. "I've got those marks all over me. I am no longer a virgin, little sister." "You're not my sister," I flared. "What difference does it make? I might as well be. Now sit down and listen to what's going on in my life. And compared to the dull stuffiness of yours, I have seen a naked man, Audrina, a real one, not just a picture or illustration. He's so hairy, you'd never suspect just how hairy by looking at him fully clothed. His hair travels from his chest down past his navel and runs into a point and keeps on going and getting bushier until—" "Stop. I don't want to hear more." "But I want you to hear more. I want you to know what you're missing. It's wonderful to have all those 9 inches stabbing into me." "Did you hear me, Audrina?" I measured it, almost 9 inches. It's all swollen and hard. I ran to the door, but she was up, blocking my way. With surprising strength, she threw me to the floor, then straddled my body. I thought about kicking her out of the way, but I was afraid she'd fall and break another bone. She put her shod foot on my chest. "He's got a marvelous body, little sister. Really a fantastic body. What we do would shock you so much you'd scream and possibly faint, and I love every second of what we do together. Can't get enough. Never can get enough." "You're only 14, I whispered. "Soon to be 15. "Why don't you ask me who my lover is? I'll tell you." "I'll tell you, gladly tell you. I don't want to know. You tell lies all the time. You're lying now. Lamar Rinsdale wouldn't want a kid like you." "How do you know that? Because he doesn't want you?" "Who would want you but a kid like Arden? He feels obligated to you, protective of you, and I could tell you so much more about that you'd probably lose your mind that already hovers on the brink of insanity. Anybody fully sane knows exactly what's gone on in their lives. Everybody but you. Leave me alone, Vera. You're a liar and always will be. Lamar Rinsdale wouldn't want you after I told him about Papa." "What did you tell him about Papa?" she asked. "I told him Papa was huge and had a terrible temper, and even if Papa isn't your father, you could ruin our name." She laughed so hysterically she fell on the floor. "Boy, you take the cake, Audrina. Ruin your name? How can something already destroyed be ruined? And if you don't believe me, go and ask Lamar. He doesn't object to my age. He likes young girls. Most men do. Why, if you could see him striding me without a stitch on, with that great gun cocked and aimed." Appalled by what she said, I ran from the room, down to where Aunt Elizabeth was in the kitchen. I forgot about Vera as I felt pity for my aunt, always working so hard, doing half my share of chores, and most of Vera's too, now that I didn't stay home all day. Aunt Elizabeth looked up from washing the dishes. What I saw in her dark eyes startled me. They were glowing radiantly, as if she looked that way all her life, and had at last discovered something to be joyful about. No longer did she call Papa cruel and callous, as once she had. He no longer called her a walking beanpole, tall and lean and mean, with the tongue of a shrew. "Audrina, you've got to be very careful not to let your father dominate your life. He'll never do that to Vera because she doesn't care what he thinks of her. Because you do care, you make yourself vulnerable. He's self-serving to the point of being cruel enough to rob you of what you need. He lies, he cheats, and he deceives. He's devilishly clever and likable, but, sorry to say, completely without honor or integrity. If he can possibly manage it, he will keep you here with him until the day he dies and never allow you to have a life of your own. I can tell that you love him. In some ways I commend you for your loyalty and devotion, but blood ties are not supposed to be chains. You don't owe him or Sylvia your life." Oh, what did she mean? "He's bringing Sylvia home this spring," she said. "Once she's here, you won't have time for music lessons or time to do anything but wait on her." I was thrilled to know that at last Sylvia was coming. But the joy of that was shadowed by her words and her expression. "Sylvia was 2 years old last September, Aunt Elizabeth. Doesn't that mean that she's past the time of being a troublesome baby?" She snorted. "Your father doesn't want me to discuss Sylvia. He wants you to grow very attached to her. I'm warning you, don't let that happen." I stared at her, completely bewildered. Wasn't I supposed to love my own sister? Didn't Sylvia need me to love her? "Don't look at me like that. I'm thinking of you, not her. Nothing can help Sylvia, and that's too bad. But you can be saved, and that's what I'm trying to do. Keep yourself detached. Do for her what you can, but don't love her too much. In the long run, you'll thank me for saying this now and not when it's too late." "She's deformed?" I cried out, horribly distressed. "Why didn't Papa tell me?" "Aunt Elizabeth, I have the right to know. What is wrong with Sylvia? She's not deformed. Indeed, she's a beautiful child, and in many ways she looks very much as you did at her age. Her hair is not colored as remarkably as yours, but then she's hardly more than a baby, and it may change and become exactly like yours and your mother's. I only hope that someday she will look exactly like you. Lord God above, if that happens, perhaps he'd let you free from playing those silly dream games he believes in so much. For an adult man with a high degree of intelligence, he can sometimes be as superstitious as any moron. I've seen you swing that ring on a string over the stock list you make, so I give you credit for being clever. Be clever enough to save yourself when the time comes." What did she mean? "Audrina, heed my advice and stop what you're doing. Don't try to help him. Try instead to see him for what he is, someone determined to keep you tied to him in as many ways as he can dream up. He's convinced himself that you are the only female in the world worthy of his love and devotion. And to you he will give everything he possesses, never realizing he's stealing from you the best the world has to offer." "But I don't understand." "Think about it then. Think of how afraid he is of growing old and infirm, so he'll be put away in some old age home. It's like a phobia with him, a sickness, Audrina. We all have to grow old. There's nothing we can do to stop it." But, I sputtered, "why are you trying to help me when I didn't even know you liked me?" Let me try to explain. When I came back here to live with my daughter, I was made into a servant. I was afraid to let myself feel anything for you. I had Vera, and Vera had nobody but me. The trouble was, Vera adored Lucida, and soon grew to despise me for being a slave when I had to be that or get out. I had my reasons for wanting to stay, and I was right to stay on, for it worked out just as I knew it would if I had the patience. My breath caught. "Tell me more," I whispered. "In the beauty race your mother always won, so naturally I was envious of her in all ways. I was jealous of her figure, her face, her talent, and most of all, of her ability to make men love her exceedingly well." A tightness came into her voice. "There was one man I loved, only one. And then he saw her. Once he saw her, it was all over for me. It hurts to lose, Audrina. It hurts so badly sometimes you wonder how you can live with it. But I did live with it, and perhaps one day I'll even win one race by default." It hit me then hard, why my aunt had always been so jealous of Mama, and why Mama had always flung back at her sister that she always got what she wanted, and my aunt never did. Aunt Elizabeth had been in love with my father. Despite the fact that she argued with him, disapproved of him, still she loved him. It seemed that way back in my mind, I guess this long, long ago, and tried to tuck it away into one of my memory holes. "Aunt Ellie, do you love him even more, even when you know he cheats and deceives and has no honor or integrity?" Alarmed, her eyes fled from mine. "I've talked enough for one day. But you take heed of what I said, and be aware that things are not always as they seem to be. Put your trust in no man, and most especially discard any dreams that disturb you."